Welcome to this week's Android Developer Office Hours from Europe. We are today in Campus London, our startup building in East London near Silicon Roundabout. So obviously we haven't had a chance to decorate yet, but we are in the studio, so hopefully the video quality and the sound quality is a little bit better, and we'll try and make it look a little bit prettier over the coming weeks. Joining me as always, lovely Matthew Gaunt.
Hello.
And Nick Butcher.
Not so lovely.
No
Spotty this week. Spotty is on a well-earned vacation day.
He's on vacation. The Americans in the room. And well, I guess we'll get started. Welcome to the people who have joined us in the Hangout. I'll be looking down here quite a lot. Down here quite a lot, because that's where my history is. Hey Andrew and hey Al. Can one of you say hello? I just want to make sure that we can hear you.
Hey guys.
Hey. Hey Al. Thank you for that. I can hear you. I'm just bringing up the moderator on my little device down here. That's already open. So the big news of the day, of course, being the jelly bean statue's back on the lawn. That was a big news, wasn't it? With crazy long antennae. I need to go and see it just to see if they really are that long.
Yeah.
But it does look like the antennae are a bit.
He's got better reception now.
He can pick up his home signal from wherever that is.
I remember seeing that the day before I.O. just in boxes, just kind of seeing loads of beans, and I was just like, is that what I think it is? A few events going on. So Rich and I were lucky enough to visit Israel last week, where we met up with the local Google developer groups out there. Very, very active Google developer group. So we met up and had a few talks about Android and Google Drive, and there was a hackathon all day, and some great apps came out of that, so that was a lot of fun. And then here in London this week, Friday and Saturday, in fact, there's going to be another developer event here at Google Campus. So anyone in London, well, hopefully you know about it because the tickets are sold out already. But looking forward to meeting lots of great Android devs this weekend. So yeah, that's the DevFest that's kind of slowly travelling around, isn't it? So if you haven't got tickets for this and you're thinking of coming in, then there may be other communities that are organised stuff that you can kind of head towards.
Yes, there's like 50 DevFests running across the world over the next 2 months. So look out for those. And we've got some Google technologies and supported by Google teams on the ground as that possible. And what I was going to say, the big news, of course, it wasn't that the jelly bean statue came back. The big news was that Android hit 500 million.
Activations.
Downloads would be the wrong.
Yeah.
500 million activations.
Can I download a new phone?
Yes. Announcing today you can now download Android devices.
Is that what the antenna is for? Sensors?
So 500 million activations of Android devices, which probably doesn't come much of a shock because Eric Schmidt announced it was 480 million a couple of weeks ago, so they won't find it. Still, who else has joined us in the Hangout? Andrew, we've got Michael Hunter, myself, Richard Thompson. Does anyone from the Hangout have a question before we get into the moderator today?
Just got a quick thing. The guys who are running the DevFest in London have released some standing room only tickets, so there are a few still remaining. So if people head to london.devfest.com, they may get tickets if they feel like standing all day.
There you go, london.devfest.com. What was that?
Yeah.
Yep, I'll put a link in the comments as well.
Perfect. Great.
Devfest.info, my mistake.
.info.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys turn up your mic? A bit hard to hear.
All right. We were worried about this. We didn't wire ourselves up with our lapel mics, which the studio people kindly provided us. So if it's too quiet,
We have options.
we do have options. So it might get really loud now instead of being quite quiet.
No, that's good with me.
So you can moderate our sound from your side.
I just leave it here.
Hey Michael, is that better? Is this thing even on?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. I'll just put it on the desk. And then every time I lean on the desk, you'll get a big knocking noise. Teething problems? Never. The weirdest noises must be coming through right now as we unvelcro the microphones that we were told to wear. And we were like, nah, we don't need those. Maybe we do. Sorry that this isn't entirely Android focus. We should have found some Android microphones. Pinch the shirt now. There we go. Okay, I'm on. Screw you guys. Moderator still hasn't come up in here.
There we go. Is that any better, Michael?
Yeah, Michael says so much better. Thank you. Well, thank you for mentioning it, because we would have realised on the YouTube video afterwards and had to take it down.
In other news, new Google Developers Live video launched yesterday. So Roman Nurek and myself started an Android design in action show. So where we're focusing on how to implement Android design, and we did it in the form of an app makeover, where we would take 3 of the applications which the app clinic look at on every Friday, and we applied the Android design philosophy to them to kind of like reskin to conform with the Android look and feel. And so hopefully that was informative to a lot of people out there to learn how to apply the Hollow kind of design language to your applications.
It was. I actually saw it live when you guys were doing it. It was brilliant. I mean, you guys had the before and after shot, so you went through the mistakes in the apps and then what was good about the redesigned version. I found it really useful.
Yeah, I find that format of the 2 side by side, really, really helpful to kind of, it speaks volumes, rather than reading the documentation. You can actually see, that's what that should do. So hopefully that's useful to you guys. And congrats to Roman. Roman did the mock-ups last week, so he did a really nice job on those.
He always does. Roman Superman. So, no?
I was going to say, so any live questions, or should we jump into the moderator?
Andrew liked the Android design video as well.
Ah, excellent.
People shaking their heads no, so let's jump into the moderator, of which I have a copy on my Nexus 7. Yeah. That's what the little black window in the Hangouts for. If I need to show you things, so it's up here.
Go on then, Rich, read it out.
Okay. RE, this is from Phil H in the UK. Google Play in-app purchases. I want to be able to get the price for an in-app purchase product by the product ID when the app starts. From the billing info pages, this doesn't seem possible. Anyone know if it's possible? So Phil, unfortunately, we don't have an API for retrieving the prices from the Play Store into your application. But at the same time, we recommend that you show the prices in your application because it reduces your cancellation rates. So the thing that you can do is obviously query your own server for those prices. And the Play Store accepts a CSV input file to import pricing information. So you can hold it all on your server and export it as the CSV and import it into the Play Store, and your server being the single place that all the
you
data
can embed that same CSV into your app as an asset, an assets folder, but it does mean you're going to have to update your application and try and change your prices.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we recommend the server-based approach, so you can download that same CSV file.
But the Play team are indeed aware of the fact that an API is very much desired. And although they're currently working very hard on the new developer console, they do have a list of feedback from Google I/O and other places, and that's definitely in it. So sorry, that's not available quite yet, if at all. Next up, I read that apps that define uses feature Android hardware camera in the manifest won't be available on the Nexus 7. It only has a front-facing camera. That's true. However, my photo app should work on the Nexus 7 using camera intent. What to do? So you can specify uses features camera and then required equals false. And then it will work on the Nexus 7. It will appear in the Play Store and everything will go ahead and work. So I would recommend, if you want your app to show on the Nexus 7, say that it uses the feature camera, but it's required, not required.
Okay, so then Andrew's gone on to say, my question relates to the entry in the manifest that Nexus 7 users can download the app, but devices without a camera, e.g. Google TV, won't have the app show up when they search. So yeah, in terms of basically enabling Google TV, you have to actually disable touchscreen. That's normally a clear fire way of basically saying don't allow it on Google TV, because obviously there aren't no touchscreens. So that'll be covered really. I think it's something that we've done to ensure that you really have to actually say I'm going to support Google TV, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
No touchscreen TVs yet.
Yet. One day.
I was in a department store at the weekend, and there was a big demo TV, and the guy was trying to touch all the icons for all the different apps. It made me think, how long until you do that? If you have kids, I'm not sure if you want that.
I have handprints all over my TV anyway. They're so used to that kind of stuff.
ViewSonic launched yesterday a TV which has Android on it, which is a resistive touchscreen. It's about 27 inches.
How many inches?
I think it's around 27.
27-inch resistive screen. Wow.
Yeah. Let me dig out the link and I'll post it up so you guys can drool over it.
Yeah, there are a couple of manufacturers which are playing
So-
with it.
That would make a cool coffee table.
I see what Andrew's saying about he's just posted it in the chat as well. What about other devices that don't have cameras? I had this conversation with another partner recently and I couldn't actually think of one. Between us, we never came up with another device that doesn't have a camera at all.
I think if it happens, then at the very, very last resort, you could just block it on the Google Play Store.
You could blacklist it, make it open to everything except Google TVs.
Nexus Q.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
I think
But
it
again,
just speaks to the whole Android approach, really, isn't it? You shouldn't really think in concrete devices. You should kind of think in capabilities and use those features to define the capabilities you require and those which you don't require, and then use package manager to enable and disable functionality.
Andrew says Nexus Q as well. Yeah, I mean, Nexus Q.
So the Nexus Q, again, would not have a touchscreen, so that's one way, but it's not. And what happens if they plugged in a USB camera and that was supported? Then what happens?
Well, it's a funny one.
Yeah.
Does the app have no functionality? I'm looking over here because Andrew's over here for me. Does the app have no functionality that could be used? Could you not import photos and use them in your application? Like Instagram is still very useful without cameras. And have a look. Andrew's typing.
Just so people know, we're not looking at the camera because we've got a screen that's just slightly off of the camera. So whenever anyone else talks, we kind of have to look a little bit away.
We'll give you the side of all
Yeah.
We're just figuring out all the kinks to the studio because the chat window is 4 meters in front of us right now, so we can't actually read it unless we look down here. Andrew's still typing. Okay, I'll get back to it as soon as he's finished.
Next muffin.
Where does that come from?
It's a comedian, YouTube.
In joke. Voting is closed.
Next.
Oh no, here we go. Why would Nexus 7 not support the camera if it has a front one? The app is pretty useless on devices without a camera.
Essentially, it's a legacy thing. The Android.hardware.camera, I think is it the user's feature, basically is an alias to camera.rear-facing. So there is another feature, Android.hardware.camera.front-facing, so you can specify them individually, but if you just use the .camera version, then that implies rear-facing camera, which the Nexus 7 doesn't have. It's in the docs, it's in the developer docs when you look at the usage feature and stuff, but it's perhaps not obvious at first.
It's documented. Yeah, just treat it as rear camera, unfortunately. Okay, anything?
Yeah, I'd also say, I think Rito talks about this quite a lot in his talk this year at Google I/O. So, what was his talk titled? Rito Myers' talk from Google I/O 2012.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, making good apps great, I think.
Or Electric Boogaloo?
He talks about techniques for handling this kind of thing. Seek that out.
Yeah, sorry, Andrew. That is, you understand the situation. That's exactly the situation right now. There isn't any magic way around it. I think you got the general gist of it. So is there any documentation, I could search for it, on creating my own app store? I'd like to have an app store of approved only apps for use in education and healthcare.
This one, Al?
Yeah, I'm sure the documentation would be hundreds of pages. There's nothing definitive. There are various third-party companies who quite happily provide branded app stores. Or if you want to do something simple, it's basically just a system that can download a list of available apps, can check for updates, and can download those updates. I'm happy to talk about it offline, but it's a lot of work for something that may be a small project.
For those who don't know, Al was the kind of developer of an app store before setting that on, I think. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
Alternatively, a much easier approach would be to launch an app into the Play Store or however you wanted to distribute it, which just linked back to apps in the Play Store. Mm-hmm. So here's my list of approved apps, but then
so
it actually downloads them.
Like
so then
a JSON feed of applications, you just consume that feed.
Then you get for free all the auto-updating functionality, all the bandwidth costs and all that already sorted out by us. And
it has the benefit of you're able to then put that app in the Play Store. You can't list another store in the Play Store. It's one of the the rules that you sign.
That's how NVIDIA's Tegra Zone works, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, Tegra Zone is a good example of exactly what we're talking about. Just links straight back to us. Any comment on that? That was actually for Andrew Kelly again. Who's in here? You should turn your microphone on, Andrew. Come on.
And we've got another one from Andrew Kelly next.
Hold on. He's just laughing at us now.
Just jumping to the Google Plus comments, Jai Ko, sorry if that's not.
Oh yeah,
wrong,
Google Plus comments.
is asking if anyone knows how you can replace the glass on a Nexus 7 because a friend has dropped his on the concrete floor within 2 hours of buying it.
Oh,
Ouch. I think the official answer is go to play.google.com and buy another one, but I don't know of anywhere that can replace it. So if anyone knows anywhere that can help Jai out, then please chime in the comments. I'm not aware yet. Check your local search engine.
Yeah, I don't know where you can get spares for these things. I don't know if calling the customer support they would allow fixing of that at your expense. I don't know.
I think at the cost it might actually work out best just to buy another one.
Matt's just googling on his Galaxy Nexus with a massively smashed screen as well. How that must cut your ear up.
Yeah, wandering around Berlin while it's raining, trying to find a place you don't know. Yeah, that happens.
You do. Okay, should we get to the next moderator?
Oh, just for Josh. Yes, us guys are all on the Nexus 7 here. 1, 2, 3, Nexus 7. Blah.
Nexus 21.
We all personalize it in different ways. I don't know why Matt defiled his with a cloud thing on the back, but there you go.
Oh.
No, seriously.
Have you seen Baby down?
It was swag. That was it.
Sure, wag. Okay, yeah, we're all good.
So
Onwards.
This question is from Andrew Kelly again.
Yeah.
Ah.
I know you don't comment on future releases and products. We didn't say that at the start of the show, but during these shows, we don't comment on future releases, products, roadmaps, or things that you don't really know, except the last one. But is there any chance that the Android plugin for Eclipse will eventually include templates for things like Action Bar Sherlock? It would be a useful feature that would help adoption of Action Bar. Huh. And Al's very kindly commented saying the best place to check is the Google group, the ADT Dev Google group. If you suggest it there, then who knows what will happen. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't comment on that, whether it's likely, whether it's not likely, or anything about it.
The other thing to bear in mind is at Google I/O again, Adam Powell did say that we're working on a Google Action Bar compatibility library. So as and when that launches, perhaps we'll see that in some templates. Maybe.
Cool.
It would be annoying if we launched it and then hit it. Yeah. Next question is from a new person, Andrew Kelly. The one-man moderator machine, Andrew Kelly. Is there a nice way to... But they're good questions.
Yeah, they are.
Is there a nice way to query the metadata of an app, e.g. price? Oh, we've already answered this one earlier in the talk today. There isn't a nice way. No, we don't have APIs.
Well, Market has no official API, is the official answer.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it the only answer? A nice way.
Okay. Yeah.
He says, in the rest of his question, I'm currently screen scraping the Google Play website. I'm not doing it often or in a spider-like fashion.
But in a pragmatic sense, there is a bunch of people who reverse engineered the proto buffers that Market uses, and there's a very easy to use API, but it's not official, it's subject to change, you may break at any time, so at your own risk.
All right, one for Nick. I've defined it's from Andrew Kelly, the next question. I've defined a theme for my app and have styled things like buttons, etc. But the buttons used in my dialogues don't seem to pick up the styling. Is there a specific base style that I need to extend for dialogues?
I can't remember offhand, probably.
Huh, probably.
I think dialogues come under their own kind of namespaces of the theme. The thing I always do is I just kind of fire up themes like XML and styles like XML that ship with the SDK and the platforms, res, all that good stuff, and search for it for likely candidates. That's how I always find the right styles to extend. I can never remember them off the top of my head.
Apparently Andrew Kelly can't turn his microphone on because his missus is watching the X Factor. Dual purpose living room. One person on X Factor, one on Android developer office hours. We could talk about X Factor. Would that be more intriguing to the general population? I'd need to watch it, but
surely not. More intriguing than Android Dev.
No, right. Especially 500 million devices activated. So, back at the top of the... Should we ask, is there any questions from inside the Hangout yet? Because we're munching through the moderator.
There's a couple coming in on the G+.
Let's go for that then.
So, Josh, who was asking if we're using Nexus 7's, chimes back in. he wants to buy an Nexus 7. He's a budding developer currently in school studying mobile dev, and he wants to use it for testing and deploying apps. There's no question, but yeah, I recommend it. It's a good device. It's a Nexus device without any carriers in between you and Google, so it's kind of going to get fast updates and so on. So as a developer, you could do a lot worse, and it's also pretty reasonably priced. So heartily recommend it. Love mine. Any other questions?
There's another one at the bottom of the G Plus thread. Should I use broadcast receiver and service to get updates from a server? Updates are not scheduled, it's random. Thank you.
Sounds to me like a perfect case for push messaging using GCM, Google Cloud Messaging.
Does to me too.
So that does require you to have some kind of server infrastructure of your own. So you have to use your server infrastructure to ping our push servers, which will then send a tickle down to the device. So that is one requirement. So you could set up an app engine up, for example, to do that. If that's not possible, then yes, you could use the alarm manager to schedule to wake up and start a service to grab, check for updates essentially. But my gut feeling is try to go for push for this kind of non-scheduled thing, because you'll be much more battery friendly, and also the updates will come through faster. Straight away it'll be pushed down to your device rather than some period of delay.
Yeah, please don't make a polling service at least. That would be pretty horrendous, I guess.
And if you do, use the inexact repeating your alarms, because that lets Android phase shift your alarms to try and line them all up so you're not waking up the device the whole time.
That would be bad. If you don't do that, then you're going to start appearing in battery stats as a battery hog, and then people will uninstall your app and boo. Boo in public. Yeah. Just boo. What is, from Ferras, the recommended way to control SQLite database connection in a multi-threaded environment? Is having one instance of database helper shared between threads a good idea, and does using a content provider help? Yes, using a content provider is the recommended way to control a SQLite database generally inside Android. But yeah, it's just going to provide the functionality and synchronization that you need without you having to code it all up yourself. I would personally go for a content provider in this situation. I know other devs that have gone for singletons and trying to synchronize it themselves and things like that, passing cursors around. But I mean, content provider is the thing that Android provides to do it. So unless you're pretty confident about coding it up yourself, you might as well take the content provider. There's loads of good sample code for content providers out there.
Yeah, the less kind of multi-threading synchronization code you write yourself, the better. Just for debugging and maintenance and stuff.
Indeed. I'm just scrolling down through the comments again.
So Warren Me in the G+ comments asks, is there a way to get a list of accounts without going through the account manager? Selecting via contacts contract.settings always returns 0. Anything I miss? I haven't thought about the contacts contract.settings. I'm not quite sure what that is, because I've always just used account manager to get a list of the accounts on the device.
Me too.
Why would you want to avoid that? Are you trying to not have to ask for the permission, I guess?
But then you're still doing the thing that the permission. Why would you try and get around the permission and then still?
It makes
sounds
me feel
sneaky.
Like, yeah, it makes me feel like account manager is the right way to do this.
Yeah, contacts contract. Yeah.
It is possible that settings is returning 0 because you don't have the account manager permission as well. Other things outside of it might be using the account manager to get those things. You should just check in the API doc to see if it does require those permissions. It would be strange if we did have a way of getting around the account manager permission, and we'd probably try and close it if there was a way. So,
yeah, I hope so. That sounds like
a
security issue.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case I can refresh this. Sometimes they come in during the gubbins, don't they?
There's a question in the Google Plus stream again.
Yep.
Who asked by
Viva.
Viva. Best way to draw charts on Android. Anyone got any recommended charting libraries?
I don't know.
There's a chart engine I've heard of before.
I drew my own once.
Did you?
Pixels and lines and stuff.
I did mine
like Canvas
as well.
Could be Canvas.
Yeah.
Canvas. Yeah.
I ended up just trying to make a bar chart which was just fairly generic and just tried to stick to a bit of an adaptive pattern so I wasn't constantly going in, adding in pixels left, right, and centre. It's not too bad to do on your own. Admittedly, it'd be nice if there was just a library that did it for you, but I can't say I found any. I think some people
a chart engine. Which one did Ellie use? Ellie Powers on counter
Count
thing.
Grafula.
Count Grafula.
don't know.
She did use a graphing library. I can't remember which one.
I don't know, it's kind of ugly.
Graphing library.
Sorry,
You're going to run it through the Android UI review.
Quick search brings up a few interesting ones. ChartDroid, Android Plot, and HChart engine. So I can't recommend them myself. If anyone live or in the comments wants to comment on their experience using any of these charting engines, then that's fine. There was an interesting one. I remember seeing GitHub open source, not the GitHub app. They have a analytics package thing. They open sourced that app, and that had some pretty graphs in it. So that might be worth checking out. I don't know what they did, but it looked very attractive.
Attractive is always better.
I think so.
We strive for attractive. Obviously, we don't really. So, someone else has joined us in the Hangout. Scott. Hey, Scott Howell. Do you have any questions for us today in the Hangout?
No, just listening in.
Hey there.
Thank you, though.
Thanks for joining. Looks like you've got quite a tech desk set up over there.
That's not what my wife calls it.
Yeah, I bet. Still looks fun. It's
Where
like
are
a
you
proper
joining
game.
us from, Scott?
I'm sorry, say again?
Where are you joining us from?
South Florida.
Ah, lovely.
Oh, nice. What time is it? Jeez. 8, 6, oh no, it's
9:30 a.m.
It's not so bad.
Ah,
Excellent. Well, welcome. Yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to jump in, because we're out.
I've got to say, Al's just posted Stack Overflow link.
To every charting library.
Yeah, and there's tons.
That's good.
Yeah, Android charts, graphs, diagrams, plots, plotting, charting. This is all on Stack Overflow, so quick Google, and yeah, you'll be set away. Graphing packages. Yeah, tons.
I guess Viba was actually looking for a recommendation from us then. He's probably found that and gone, oh, crap, there's hundreds of these things. Which one should I use?
Well, it looks like it's not the main top answers listed it down to 3, which is ChartDroid, Android Plot, and HChart engine, the one that we mentioned. So
Some of the others have a commercial license as well, so it could rule it out.
How dare they try and make money?
The most expensive of all is all of $300. So
Wow.
I always like rolling my own. It's always fun to do a bit of canvas.
yeah, can't go wrong.
Out of context, I'm going to clip that chunk of video. I always like rolling my own.
Cheers, Rich.
it's nothing like a chunk of canvas could also be included.
Nothing like a chunk of canvas. Warren
More
says
questions coming in on
yes.
G Plus Fred. So why Christo asks why Android doesn't have multiple users, and so if anyone who follows the Android blogs might realise that there's some underpinnings of that coming already open sourced in Jelly Bean. So watch this space to see how that gets exposed.
Yeah, I've seen people from Android user groups around the world typing commands into terminals on Android devices and magic things happening. So it's all rumours. But
And next up, Moritz, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that again, asks, is it possible to buy cards into Google Now as an app developer? So, no, unfortunately there is no developer API for Google Now, as is. I don't know, maybe in the future, who knows, but right now, no. Sorry.
an interesting one.
Yeah, that would be fun. Be interesting to hear what kind of information you'd like to surface in there.
Yeah.
Or whether you just want to override, like have a different weather card from a different source. Maybe you don't want our weather, maybe you want prettier weather.
Yeah, some of the actions you can perform from the cards do just fire off intents, which you can, provide alternative.
You could have a stock ticker in there, maybe.
Yeah, bingo.
You just move all of your apps into there. Have a countdown clock in there. Oh, damn it, that reminds me. I still have to implement rich notification chronometer on Ultimate Stopwatch before it gets reviewed on the app review on Friday. Maybe I should do that now. Does anyone want to do some live coding? Apparently it's quite easy. On my on pause, I just have to set the chronometer rich notification up and on resume kill it again. So.
Do you want to let the guys know what app review it's going to be, Rich?
No. Well, thank you for submitting it, Al.
It's my pleasure.
Oh, I'll put it forward.
I'll put it forward, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So,
Touché, sir, touché.
the American side of our team are reviewing timer and countdown apps on Friday, and Al knows that I made one about 50,000 years ago when I first started Android. So we put it up for review. So my team's going to rip me a part or a new one or something on Friday, which is nice of them.
Well, they may congratulate you on how awesome it is.
They might. And if they do, it'll all be down to Marie Schweiss's much better designs than mine. But anyway, even though apparently I didn't implement them properly. She still tried to distance herself somewhat from the app. it was kind of like my designs.
I think you need to have a swipe.
Yeah. You think I need a view pager between countdown and stopwatch?
Yeah.
I'll do that as well. I'll put a view pager in and I'll put a... View pager didn't exist back then. Swiping didn't exist. Gestures. Gestures. Yeah, we've all watched that video. Okay. Well, we're kind of filling in time here because we've got half an hour to go. A new participant. Well, let's jump on him. Quick.
Hello. Someone.
It says his name is Zavi. But he's just got a picture. He doesn't have a video. Maybe he has a microphone. Hey, Zavi, do you have a question for us? Sorry. Maybe you can't hear us.
Have we exhausted the...
Imagine, if it wasn't for Andrew Kelly, this hangout would have been 4 minutes. But fortunately, Andrew Kelly brought all the questions ever into one moderator. It still says at the top, questions. Yeah, still 7 questions from 7 people, interesting enough.
All right, I'm going to pick on the live participants. So a couple of you said you tuned into the Android Design in Action session yesterday. So any feedback, anything you liked or you'd like to see more of, you spent too long, or was it useful? Any feedback would be really useful.
One of the things that could be cool would be if you could get the developers to join in as well and see whether there's some thinking behind their designs or how sort of they could implement them, because it's quite cool seeing the design changes, but hearing about how to actually implement them as well could be useful.
I think there's something that the guys in the US do, don't they? I think they've had a couple of app reviews where they actually have the guys who developed it on the Hangout Live, and yeah, you're right. It does add another level kind of understanding, and like you said, if they've got tips and tricks, then great way to learn.
Yeah, I understand, Nick's. You're limited to about half an hour, so what you can do is really limited, and it's kind of a weighing out between whether it's worth getting more app redesigns in or whether it's worth focusing on a few.
Well, that's up to us, really. We can make it longer if you think a longer format would work. I mean, we could make it an hour like this. It's quite a lot of work to do the app redesigns. Like I said, try and turn around 3 of those a week takes quite a lot of time. All Roman's work, nothing to do with me. I just showed up. So we're thinking about diversifying it into a bit more of a general show as well. So talking about more in the news. So we spend a little bit talking about the Hollow Colors generator, which lets you generate the themes and buttons and XML files to personalize the color thing. So we're doing more of that kind of news and maybe, I don't know, talking about what's going on in the community, not just doing the app redesign. So trying to diversify out a little bit without spending full-time job redesigning apps.
That'd be quite cool. Didn't Rato produce a video this week in Android or something like that? That was
he did a little 5-minute spot on what's coming up this week, which we're halfway through now.
Yep. That was also pretty useful because there were some of the things that were going on that I wasn't aware of. So
we've got some upcoming other ways of discovering our videos soon as well, and keeping up to date with everything that's going on this pretty much now constant TV channel. If you go to developers.google.com, across all our products, the calendar is almost full. Soon there'll be more than one show on
Wednesday's a popular day.
Wednesdays straight through the whole day. You can watch something from the Google team live on YouTube Live.
Any of our live participants, do you guys tune into multiple office hours sections? Do you tune into the US one as well?
I've picked up the Asia Pacific one before now because it's sort of 7 o'clock in the morning and watched it during breakfast. Shows how sad I am, really.
No, I've watched that one as well. They've done a slightly different format. They do less questions and they're doing a bit more news about the week, and then they do a technical spot as well. So it is worth watching that one. What do you think of that format, Al?
I quite like it. I like the technical presentation at the start. It'll be interesting to see how many different topics they can cover, and whether they go into depth or whether they keep stuff quite light. But I think it seems to work quite well, and it means that they don't end up with half an hour to fill at the end or anything like that. So,
right. So yeah,
we've got some more questions.
Questions coming on the G++. You want to go
that? Yeah. So David Scott, with in-app billing, is there a way to pass some kind of string like a developer payload that would show up on Google Checkout/payout report?
No. Sorry.
It's quite similar to the other question, really, isn't it? Trying to find out the price. It's maybe not, but yeah. No. The other one is from Chris over here. And why is HTML5/CSS3 so outrageously bad on Android? and mobile devices in general. Even in Buttery Smooth 4.1 quad-core devices, the HTML5 experiments are really slow. If HTML5 is to become a success, especially with Chrome OS, should it not get more attention? I'd be kind of interested to know whether you're referring to like the embeddable web view or whether you're referring to actual Google Chrome, because those are very different. So yeah, Chrome team, they're literally focusing on the HTML5 spec and what they're supporting and speed, etc.
But no WebGL yet.
No, but if you're watching Christo, what's going on? Oh, it was Andrew's wife. Sorry. I'm going to mute you, Andrew. Unless you want to. No? Do you want to say something before you get muted? No.
That's all right.
Denied.
Sorry, you've been muted. Much as the X Factor was good, I think we can only listen to 5 seconds of anything without having copyright issues.
Popping back to the HTML5 thing, it's probably also worth thinking about the processing power in mobile devices. A lot of websites I've seen, when they start getting into really complex stuff, are really designed for desktops. So trying to run them on a mobile processor is just painful. It's akin to trying to run Flash on a mobile processor.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Even quad-core mobile devices, if you compare that to a quad-core desktop, the performance difference is still massive.
Yeah, and it's like layers upon layers upon layers of abstractions. When you have these resource-constrained devices, the closer you get like down the stack, the more performance you're going to get. So as you add more and more layers, like a web layer on top, then it's only going to make it worse. But
yeah, it's the benefits of WebGL.
I think we've seen quite a trend of big developers moving away from like Facebook being the most obvious one with Mark Zuckerberg's comments today, and I saw 6 Wunderkinder, makers of a Wunderlist.
They're going away from HTML.
They were Titanium and have gone native now, and
go 6 Wunderkinder.
Better performance. Still looks like an iOS app. But
did they say they've launched already, or is it sneaky? Did they say it launched already?
Yes.
Does it have Google Task Syncing?
I haven't checked that.
I shall check it. I'll get back to them on whether that app does look iOS still or not. I haven't checked.
It was quite interesting that yesterday at the TechCrunch conference that Mark Zuckerberg actually said that moving to HTML5 was probably one of the worst mistakes he's made on mobile. So
we've wasted 2 years of everyone's time or something. HTML. But it'll be interesting to see what the native app, which he's announced will come out, does look like. And how fast and super snappy it is. They've really got to put a lot of effort into making it amazing now.
Well,
there's a lot of anticipation.
Some good Android devs, right? They've acquired
Lightbox,
Instagram and Lightbox, both who've built good Android apps. So.
And they're still hiring more people as well, so they're building and building and building that team.
Talking about hiring more people, small advertising slot here. Our team is currently looking for 1 new member to sit here in the London office. So if you're into Android and fancy developer advocacy of Android, get in touch with me on Google+. I'm really looking for someone with some European language skills. But there you go. Get in touch with me on Google+, and we can have a talk about it. Hopefully we can fill the spot soon before we lose the headcount again. Headcount comes and goes like anything in Google.
Any more for any more? Or should we wrap it up early?
There's another one from David Scott.
Okay.
So this was still the Google Play getting a payload in the report. What would you suggest is the best solution for an app with possibly 40,000 separate in-app payments, with hundreds added monthly?
What would you suggest is the best solution for an app with 40,000 separate in-app payments?
So I know David works on a magazine app, and we have one single application which can download multiple magazines and issues thereof. So
no, okay.
Okay. Well, definitely who knows if anyone's tested the CSV import and export with 40,000 items in it. But that's got to be the way to go.
No, I think they're trying to work out sales of individual stuff.
What? How to design the app, or
no,
reporting on it.
Basically, take that CSV file and spit it out, so it's a little bit more useful for them to use, I imagine.
I'm blanking.
No idea.
Good feedback though. We'll pass it on to the team who build it.
Yeah, I don't know what in your sales report what comes out for your in-app billing items. If each one is separate, they must be separate. Surely.
So there's a way you can split it into
on the sales report.
And
hopefully, you'll see what item was purchased. I don't have an app with in-app billing in it that's live that people are buying stuff in. Does anyone on the Hangout have an in-app billing app currently live in the Play Store? No. Interesting.
That's the play.
No, I'm just looking over here because Andrew's typing again. There's been quite a few things going through the chat. Scott says game salad, and Andrew says he's working on one. I don't know why game salad came up. Did I miss something?
No, that makes no sense to me either.
Game salad.
Yes.
App building app. Scott's talking in code.
That sounds like the old
Like titanium or what?
no, the Android Developer Labs thing.
Oh,
Drag
yeah.
and drop.
The thing that went off to MIT.
Yeah.
Android app builder,
Inventor,
the
that's
app
the one.
inventor.
App Inventor. Game Salad seems to be a cross-platform application for generating apps.
Oh, he then says, now I've got your attention. How about how about integrating voice over IP video calls with Hangouts via Android? So you'll be able to
Dial in.
invite people who aren't on Google Plus Hangouts, maybe?
Is there an intent for something in the Hangout? That'd be fun.
That'd be very cool.
How about it? Voice over IP video calls with Hangouts via Android, integrating the two.
You're talking about like just kicking off a Hangout, so it just passes off to the Google Plus app to start it? Are you talking about having it run over our infrastructure and then give you a stream of audio and video to show on your app, i.e. you're playing a game and you can pipe in audio and video or whatever from someone else?
It just seems that it's a similar technology, and you know, we've had the discussions of it, of how to take, say we've got a VoIP call platform, how to enjoy the versatility of Hangouts within that, you know, or vice versa, making a call, if you will, by way of the Google Hangout to somebody.
Okay, hopefully this one's going to come on in a second.
I think it's probably...
Sorry about that. We just dropped out on the main
I think
studio computer. It should just be coming back on in a second.
I think what Scott's after, are you talking about conferencing people in directly into a Hangout? So basically you'll be able to select a group of people that you want to join a Hangout and they get invited in.
Essentially, you know, sure, you know, at one level, absolutely.
Turn this camera on. It'll be funny. So we missed quite a bit of that, unfortunately, due to the dropout. Sorry.
So I'm still somewhat confused. Are you trying to get a voice over IP protocol like SIP or something to connect to a Hangout, or do you just literally mean use Hangouts within your own app?
And as Al suggested, even creating a conference from within a Hangout to back out to a video call over VoIP. The technology seems similar. It would just be interesting to enjoy the use both directions.
Yeah,
both from Hangouts and both from
encourage you to go to
video
one of
call.
the Hangouts that our Google Plus team do.
Yeah.
And they certainly, you know, we'll talk about the Hangouts API and what you can and can't do within that. I don't know about, you know, connections to other, you know, video audio streams and how, but they would be the guys to answer that, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to know whether you could access that through the Hangout APIs or not.
Fair enough. I don't think we give anyone access to the audio video streams yet.
I wouldn't have thought so, but it's Google Plus cool.
Okay, let's have one more quick run through the moderator and the comments, just in case anything's come in. Uh, 18 votes, 7 questions. Nick's following the comments, right? Nothing new coming in?
Yeah, BB's come in and said thanks for the link to charting libraries.
Yeah.
And he was wondering if there was any standard implementation. So I don't think there is one. The one thing I can think of is the battery stats. Not battery stats, sorry. Well, there is something battery stats. So it uses a little pie chart, doesn't it, to show mobile versus Wi-Fi and stuff. So I don't know offhand what it uses. Maybe it rolls it its own, but it might be worth taking a look at the source code for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite pretty little graphs. Nice.
But
cool.
I'd say, some of the third-party libraries are great, and I wouldn't be the first to use them.
And plus, if they don't do what you do, tweak them, change them, fix them up, add stuff, and then recommit it back to the community. Always another plus.
So Phil has just chimed in the G+ comments, asking if the building blocks section of the design site, which goes through all the different controls you can use within your application, whether it's going to get examples included at some point. So I guess I'd follow up. Do you mean like visual examples, which I think it already has? Are you more talking about code examples? If it's the latter, I'm going to go ahead and say maybe not. I think the design site is very much supposed to be just that. I would say if you feel like the kind of the technical documentation side, which does go into the code, like all the API demos and so on, which ship with the SDK, or the documentation on in the reference section, or even the Android training pages. If you feel like they're not, up to snuff, that'd be interesting. Maybe we could do a better job of joining them up. Linking through from say the building blocks page to, here's how to implement it. Then that could be worth looking at.
And the documentation, the design documentation, is also part of the Android open source project, so people can actually submit their own changes if they want to. It's located in the frameworks-based docs package, so if anyone wants to make fixes, they can fix it, submit it to Gerrit, and become a famous author of the design documents.
As you advised Johannes to do just the other day. Yeah, so Phil clarifies he means code examples. Yeah, so I think the desire is to keep the design section down to the design, so as not to scare off designers with code. But yeah, certainly linking through to tips for implementation is interesting. We can bring it up internally.
I think it's nice to see that Android's got to the point where the design is so important compared to back in the day when we didn't have such kind of strict standards. So I think keeping the two separate has kind of made a lot of sense. But yeah, maybe it's a case there needs to be a couple of strings tied together.
Personally, I really like the redesign of the Android site. So you have the design, develop, distribute, 3 pillars, an Android app, and they kind of separated out. But maybe we do need to just think through it at certain logical places.
Yeah.
The distribute one's got some great information on publishing and getting your play page together. I've been pointing a lot of people to the distribute one. Originally, I just pointed everyone to the design page, but now I give them distribute links as well, as I've become more familiar with all the different deep links inside there.
And it's got the device art generator in there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Device art generator. Stephen Brunner's just joined us in the chat and in the Hangout. I just wonder if he's got any questions before we sign off today.
And Vivi says that the moderator is locked. Apparently.
The moderator is indeed locked. I saw that as well. I don't know. Maybe someone has to unlock it.
We fall apart with that, Sparky.
I think, didn't Sparky say that he'd get to a point where he'd lock it a bit before, so then people could vote up and down? Oh. I think he mentioned.
He said, "Get your questions in early next week because I'm going to lock it before the event."
Because they were all coming in during the event last week.
Yeah.
That was fine.
I don't know how to unlock it again though. Sparky has the power. Next week, I preferred it with the questions coming in during the thing, so next week we won't lock it.
I have a feeling he's done it on an automated trigger because he's already got the one for the moderator for next week open. It says come back at 6 o'clock to submit your questions.
Okay. Oh, so we actually got sort of the time where it's just a time where you can't post any questions.
Is it worth?
Michael, you.
Just wondering
Michael's
whether.
asked a question.
Sorry.
Go.
All right. Does anyone know whether the Android add proximity alert on the location manager is battery intensive? Is the add proximity alert on location manager battery intensive? No. No.
I don't know offhand. This is the geofencing stuff. Does it just use the passive location?
Yeah.
I spoke to Rito a very, very long time about this, and he said that even though the GPS icon is there, he said that it is actually designed to be quite efficient in terms of not actually using GPS chip until it actually needs to. He told me to look in the source code to see if I could then stop it from doing that, and then essentially roll my own version of it when I was looking into this a little while ago. But at the same time, I think some people have commented that it may not be the case. So I'd say I'd stick with Rito's.
So Rito says here, yes, this will definitely eat your battery.
Okay, so ignore what I said.
You never want to be setting more than a couple of proximity alerts in any case. The use case you described isn't really catered for proximity alerts. I basically want to add about 20, sometimes 80 alerts with no time expiration with a radius of around 500 meters. Okay. A better alternative would be to use an alarm and a service to check your current location against your set of locations. This will let you manage the location-based services you want to use, GPS or cell ID, as well as the frequency of checks. Doing it this way will let you manage your battery much more effectively. So yeah, Rito says it will, and Rito's the man on batteries. And
He is battery.
he's battery powered. Go Rito. Hopefully you're not watching that. If you are, then you can get me back. Hey Stephen, you got a question there?
Yeah, I have a question regarding wake logs.
Okay.
Do you understand me? I have a service which runs in the background, which collects location data and do some computation.
Oh.
Necessary to register a wake log when screen is off?
So we kind of lost you through half of that. For some reason.
Okay.
Dropping in and
So I have a service which is registering in wake log and does collect location data, always when the screen is off. And do I need a wake log for this when screen is off to get enough computation power to do some filtering of the GPS positions and so on? Or is it just sufficient to do it without the wake log?
Yeah, you only get, is it 10 seconds or something before it will... So yeah.
Yeah, you will get paused pretty quickly afterwards. So it depends. I don't know how long your computations are going to take, but if it's more than a second or two, then yeah, definitely go for a wake lock.
Okay, it's a good choice to read. Okay.
Yeah, just take the wake lock and then turn it back off again. Drop it as soon as you can.
We've got another question on the...
Yossi's turned up. Hey, Yossi. Finally, you turn up right at the end of it. He's got his lower third sorted out properly as well. Sorry, we couldn't be in Israel with you this week. I'm sure your weather's much better than ours. Apparently, we've got another question come through.
Yeah, from Benjamin Weiss.
Oh, hey, Ben.
Ah, Ben.
Nice to
I
know you're
got to
watching.
give a shout out to Ben and Vivi because they took care of me while I was in Amsterdam and Berlin last week, and so to Marie Weiss and Amsterdam and all those other
Went
guys.
to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam and the Dutch Language Reviews Group. So thanks, guys. You look after me awesome. So yeah, Ben says, are there any intentions on supporting Gradle as an official build tool for Android application? I don't know what Gradle is.
And we can't talk about future releases and platforms anyway.
No, Al, you might be a bit more up to date this. There's been some talk on the Google groups, hasn't there, from Zav and I think initiative started by Call to Arms by Jake Wharton.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, they've decided to take a step back and start from scratch on the Android building system, see what's happening. Gradle is one of the systems that was in there as a potential for support. It seems to be less favoured because it's not a mainstream system, and by mainstream I just mean it's got a critical mass of users. I'm sure there are a lot of people who really like it. I can't see it, from what's being said at the moment, being supported in the first pass of the new build system, but that's nothing to say that it wouldn't have support for it built later, because there are quite a few people who are interested in seeing it. If Benjamin's really interested, ADT-dev is the group on Google Groups. Jump in and see if it can be adapted to what you need, and see if the guys are willing to put in the effort to produce what you want.
Cool.
I'll send that link.
Cool, thanks.
All right. Well, now that Yossi's got here, it's time to go. We'll leave you in charge so you can take over. Thanks all for joining us again today from our first hangout from the new studio over at Campus London. Hopefully we'll get to interview some of the local startups around here on air sometime soon as well.
Yeah, and for those of you coming to DevFest London this weekend, if you're watching along, then looking forward to seeing you there.
Yep, that will be in this building too. Other than that, thanks very much.
Yeah, until next week, keep firing those questions into the moderator for next week, and do give us any feedback on the Android Design in Action show, and have fun with it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And stop the broadcast.
An elegant.